So listen, I'm here at the High Food Bank, and what we're doing here is we're raising money for this great cause. Look at all this food. They've got this thing called Walk the Line, right, where you walk around the borough, isn't it? And lots of people do it to raise money, but obviously with the whole lockdown, can't really do that. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get like a couple of treadmills, and we're gonna walk the same distance, but we're gonna walk it in a studio, and we're gonna try and raise as much money as we can. You listening out there?
It's the first time we've had someone or an organisation offer to come and do something for us. I think that's so exciting.
And I think it's a good idea to help other people.
I've had to use the food bank myself a few times and I'm really grateful for it.
So please donate.
Hi and welcome to AFTV. You are watching the AFTV build-up show with myself, Cecil G, and James B. And I just want to start by saying, welcome United fans. We can see you in the chat. Jeez Louise, they've all turned up today. They've come in their droves, screaming United. Welcome. Yes, congrats. You scraped it. So, but today we're going to start. We've got loads of things to talk about from this pre-match build-up show before we go up against Wolves. Starting with Arsenal set versus Wolves, which I know James is going to take us through in a second. We have analysing Europa League goals. We're going to look back and we've got the budget. The budget's been extended once again. We got footage. We haven't got footage, but we've got the people making.
We've tried to recreate some footage. It's been fun. It's been weird, but it's been fun.
We have that. We have the fans' opinions as well, what they have to say about today's game. So we'll play that as well for you guys, and then we'll be building your 11. You guys' 11s, our 11s. Make sure you're sending them in, but please hold fire before sending them in. Okay, please just wait until. You'll get there.
We will miss them, especially with all the United fans like commenting. Like
exactly.
It'll get lost.
Exactly. So just don't build your 11s yet. And then we're going to also speak about our new app and the charity event that myself, James, and Robbie will be doing, the Walk the Line, on Tuesday. But first, right, let's get into this.
Let's get into it. Well, before I talk exactly about Arsenal Wolves, the thing I wanted to take a look at, which I've got here, is the Premier League table. Now, irritatingly, it's got them lot at the top because obviously they're drawing currently with Chelsea. The thing I kind of wanted to point out here is if we win, obviously we go to 16 points. You can see us there in 14th. It doesn't look great. But a win puts us on 16 and suddenly we're overlapping the likes of Villa, City, West Ham, Wolves. I get they have a game in hand, Leeds, Newcastle. Look, I'm not saying it looks great if we win today. I'm not saying, oh, suddenly everything looks rosy. But I'm just saying you do suddenly realise that actually we've had a really difficult start to the season with United, City, Liverpool away. We've had the Leicester game. Leeds away is a really awkward away fixture. If we come through those, and you know what, we're in and around, you see Chelsea on 19, Leicester on 18, Southampton 17, Everton 16, United 16. If we come out of that run and we're around that, with the North London derby, which can give us a massive boost, and then a favourable run after, I don't know, there's an opportunity there to start building a bit of form and momentum. And actually a win today, we'll find that we're not that far off where we want to be. I just wanted to put that out there. I know I'm sounding overly positive and it means getting a good result today and all these things, but Josh has mentioned me in his story, thank you. I know it means all these things as well, but I just like, I don't know, I just wanted to put that out there. Just, no, there's importance to this, is what I'm trying to say. It's important we win.
You're saying you're being optimistic. I'm going to be that firm hand today and say Arsenal must win this game. I know it sounds harsh, but I feel like it's a must win to put us. Otherwise, we're just going to keep dipping and going lower and lower in the league. In my opinion, obviously it's a long season. I've mentioned this before. We're not even at Christmas yet, but these 3 points definitely matter, especially when we have Tottenham as well next week.
Yeah, 100%. But I agree with you. This is a must-win because
it's a must-win.
Because at least then we can stay afloat while. How do I put it? We can stay afloat while sort of having a nice, favourable run after the North London derby to come. But anyway, that's all ifs and buts. So first we've got to do.
Sorry, just
go on.
G100. This is definitely a must-win. Thank you very much. A must-win today, also from Mushin Abadi. Arsenal will win the league, says they had XD Gaming. We have to win today, says Theodore. We've got some Wolves fans in the comments.
Interesting. What are they thinking?
Come on, Wolves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sin C says Arsenal will lose tonight, guaranteed. Obviously, the banter club people keep putting in, but I mean, there's plenty of others in this league. There's just a lot of optimism, I think.
I hope so, because we need it.
Again, the United fans are in here. Who would they would have thought they won the league?
Yeah, I know.
They're in this. Yeah, but okay, let's get in. Yeah, let's get into it.
Right, so of course, all that stuff I've been saying about if we win, we could be, to do that, we've got to beat Wolves.
Yeah.
And we know that it's not easy, and we spoke about it in the stats preview show. Go check it out if you haven't. They, not now, later. They've got a decent record at the Emirates of late. A couple 1-1 draws in the last few meetings. They do make it difficult. I was trying to work out, like, there's this kind of like, how do I put it? There's this kind of theory or sort of belief that Wolves, what they're best at is counter-attacking, is basically hitting you sort of, what's that word we said Leeds and Liverpool are very good at? It's the turnovers. Yeah. They're very good at winning the ball back and then hitting you, when there's space opening up. And I think the way they set up, this was their 11 in the last game. Now, in fairness, you could very easily see, Adama Traore not playing and Pedro Neto in there or something. But I actually think it will be Traore personally. Even Daniel Podence, he might be in there. I think he's a really good player, by the way. So they've got different ways to hurt you. But ultimately, the thing they like to do is hit you on the counter-attack. And I looked at the 9 goals they've scored this season in the league. I think we've only scored 9 as well. Yeah. Both very low tallies, in fairness. But if you look at the goals they've scored, I'll just bring up this little graphic here. Of the 9, 3 of them have scored from what I consider being on the front foot. Like there's been a low block. They've had to be creative and inventive to score. Yeah. The 4 goals have come from, like, I've put the word counter. Maybe that's not fair. I mean turnover. They've won it and they've hit them, or they've been sitting deep. They've gone down the other end and scored. So that's 4 of their 9, and then 2 have come from set pieces. So there's no doubt that there's no doubt they favour scoring goals when the game opens up a little bit and they can hit you. The problem is, so do Arsenal. It's what we've proven to be best at as well, is basically actually when we've been sitting back and tried to create something out of the space that's left behind. But you look at the way they set up Wolves, I think we might see a similar thing, or at least this is what they did in their last game at Southampton. They had Ruben Neves, Max Kilman, and Willy Bolly there at the back. Now, what's really interesting, I'd love to say I spotted this for myself. I didn't. It was actually Michael Cox, who writes for The Athletic. Go check him out. He's a great football analyst. Yep. He made a really good point about the 2 centre-backs here. So, Max Kilman, who's playing at right centre-back there, he's left-footed. And Willy Bolly, who's he's right-footed, is playing as the left centre-back. Now, what I find really interesting about this is that's very awkward. That's not normally what you expect. No. You normally have, if you look at how we've got Gabriel and Holding playing as, Gabriel's on his favoured foot because he wants to bring it wide and he wants to play those shorter passes.
Yeah, so it looks like they play in.
In, yes, and
centre-backs to then spread it out wide,
I would say they're constantly, it's because when the ball comes to them, they open up and they're looking for that diagonal. Now that's very direct. That's very one end to the other, isn't it?
Gabriel and David Luiz and what we do, not across. They go more.
Well, they do, but I feel like for our build-up, you're right, you'd see Gabriel doing this, maybe going over the top, but that's great for build-up. This, from Wolves, feels much more direct. It feels like they're trying to go from defence to attack very, very quickly. And the other player who's very, very good in these situations is Neves. Yeah. He's very similar. He's got that range to spray those passes, get that ball out wide. He can do it. And I've drawn a bunch of arrows there. I've gone a bit crazy. But you get my point. They've got that 3 in the middle. Yeah. If I just bring them up here. They've got that 3 in the middle who can get them from defence to attack. When we're on the front foot, we're trying to make something happen. And that does worry me, especially because Raul Jimenez is very good at dropping deep and holding the ball up. Daniel Podence is very good at coming out wide or drifting aside and beating men. And
Traore's the same. Do
we need to talk about Adama Traore? This guy is an absolute powerhouse. So I do worry about Wolves, and that is what I think they're going to want to look to do to us. The problem is, it means we're going to have to be incredibly inventive. A lot of people laughed at our Instagram, or especially mine, when I put my 11. I said I wanted to buy us Willock and Smith Rowe.
Please check out on Instagram, AFTV's Instagram, our 11s. Mine is the first. Yeah, mine is the first one, and then James is the second. So please do check it out.
The thing was, look, would I actually go that 11? Yeah, maybe not in hindsight. I was just being a bit happy. I was like, oh yeah, I played the youngsters. But in fairness, we need that we need a Willock, a Smith Rowe and a Sabas. We need to be able to control the midfield.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, Wolves will pick us off very easy the other end. So that's kind of why I went for that. Yeah, admittedly, I don't think that is probably what I would be going for if I was Arteta.
Yeah, there's some comments just saying, obviously, draw. People are saying 2-0. I'm just getting some score predictions. If you get them in, get your score predictions, I will be reading them out. A lot of people saying 1-1. I mean, there was a title in one of our shows this week on AFTV saying it's got draw written all over it. Yeah. I do agree. I did predict a 1-1, but hopefully we do nick it. M23 Gaming says 3-1 Arsenal, 1-1 Oba and Adama to score. 3-2, 2-1, 1-0 Wolves, Abbas, Marcus 1-1. Mohammed 2-2, Caesar 2-1 Arsenal, David Keith 2-0 Arsenal, Billy Dalton 2-1. Yeah, loads. Yeah,
God, I hope
there's a lot of high. There's some high scorers. Some people saying Patrick 3-0, Bruno 4-0, Arsenal 0. Oh my days. They're talking about. Listen, the United fans, relax, man. 2-1, 3-1. High scoring games. Now, the way we'll get to how I think we'll set up later, and I believe it'll be a low scoring game, but we'll get to that after. So carry on.
Look, so that's what I think Wolves are going to offer us. I do think it's going to be a difficult game. I think this is where players like Gabriel, oh God, I wish the lead was playing, because this is where you want fast centre backs to be able to cover in behind and drop in. And you know what? They can play on the press. But if that ball does go over the top, you trust Gabriel's pace and strength and Saliba's pace and strength to cover that area as a two, so that Tierney and Bellerin could get forward. But those are my thoughts on today's game. I wanted to chat about what I think our long term is going to look like under Arteta, because all the Europa League has been sort of teaching us quite a lot. I know a lot of people dismiss it. I think it's been teaching us quite a lot. Don't know if you want to take more comments or if we go straight into it. Up to you.
3-0 easy. Stefan says 3-1 Wolves. People laugh at the position that we're in. Can Gabriel play? Arash Sherifi says. Gabriel, depends. Do you mean Martinelli or do you mean Gabriel, the centre back? I don't know.
Oh, it must be Gabriel Martinelli. No, it doesn't look like it.
No, he's still on his recovery, on his return, not recovery. So it seems like he's fit and he's ahead of schedule. We spoke about this morning. He is ahead of schedule, but I don't think he'll be included until I'd say around Christmas time, maybe the New Year. But he is back to full training, and like I said this morning, I analysed the training videos to see if he was mentally scared to put weight on his knee. He seems like he's raring to go.
But then it's training, isn't it? But
listen, he seemed at it. The shots he was taking,
I hope so.
They're playing intense five-a-side, keep ball. No matter if it's training or not, you've got to go in. It's just the tackles will be different.
No, of course, yeah. So what I've got here, I've had a bit of fun with this. So
this is great.
I basically sort of tried to bring these animations to life a little bit, and I basically recreated some goals we scored in the Europa League. Now they're not perfect, like you get the point. This is more to remind you of what we did do rather than try and tell you, because you should have seen them.
So where the budget's going, people.
So the thing I've been noticing, I mentioned in my fan cam, is that we've been scoring a lot of goals in the Europa League. 6 of our 12 have come from a cutback. Yep. So that's some sort of ball in behind or whatever, where there's basically been a cutback. It's either been an own goal or something's happened. And it's something I recognise in Arteta. Not recognise, not the word. It's something I've noticed that reminds me a lot of what Man City used to do really well, especially at their best. And instead of having overlaps by their fullbacks, it'd actually be De Bruyne who'd make an underlap run. He'd make the underlap, get to that byline, cross it in. They were very, very good at that. Or Sterling or Sane.
Sterling
they were very good at making that run from out to in and nicking a goal. Now, we've been scoring a few goals that, for me, suggest that in the Europa League against lesser opposition, Arteta is getting the team to try these movements a bit more freely, trying to do the things that in the long term are what he wants the team to be doing in the Premier League.
Emulating Pep and Man City or not? Because this is where we're going to we can be careful here. Do you think he stole that from watching Pep's sessions?
Well, no, I don't know if he's stolen it. I think he's just recognised it's one of the most efficient ways to get goals, especially with maybe what we've got. So this was the goal, you guys can watch it here. This was the goal we scored against Rapid Vienna. And El Neni plays that through ball to Bellerin. and it's just an easy tap in for Aubameyang. And it's these little things like that last bit, the Bellerin square to Aubameyang is very easy, but it's El Neni, that pass there that we're seeing. That's the genius. And when Arsenal and our sort of more creative midfielders can get into those positions to start playing Bellerin, Tierney and behind maybe a Saka, we can look more dangerous. But the reality is, and with all due respect to El Neni and some of the midfielders we've got, yeah, they probably are capable of doing it in the Europa League against Rapid Vienna. But against Wolves, that's a very different task.
Yeah.
And even players like Kevin De Bruyne aren't doing it as easily as they probably were a few years ago.
Yeah, thank you, Curtes Howard says, good to see a cheerful Cecil and James. Harry Potter, real talk.
Love it. This was the goal against Mulder. This was admittedly an own goal, but very similar thing. The ball comes to Jack on the edge of the area, and he plays a lovely lofted ball over the top into Joe Willock, who crosses it, and it's an own goal after.
Yeah. That's class, by the way.
What?
It's great.
I'm having loads of fun with it. Let's just see it again in case you missed it. It's that ball over the top. Should we milk this? I think this should be the whole show.
One more time.
Well, we got loads. This is in that same game. This was the Pepe goal. Let's get the animation up. This time it's Nketiah who's made the run through, plays it to Saka, who pulls it back, and Pepe's there again.
First time goal. Yeah, it was that first time shot. That was a good goal, to be fair.
It was a really good goal. It was a really good goal.
You are right, James. When was this one as well?
This was Mulder, the same game.
Yeah, the same one we just watched. Okay, yeah, the first time shot. You are right. They are.
There's a pattern. There's a similar pattern.
It's just the Europa League. I know you mentioned it. It's a different opposition which we're not facing in the Premier League. And in my opinion, do we have the personnel to replicate this in the Premier League?
Well, I hope so, but this isn't a fluke, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
This is something that Arteta's clearly trying to do long term. It's clearly something that's been instructed because the movements look too deliberate. The way Pepe went to the edge of the box, instinct, if you want to score, it's just, I'm going to run as close to the goal as possible. But the fact that he made that move to the edge of the penalty area, that is very calculated. As is this. Pepe gets the ball, he plays the ball, this was just the other night, down to Willock, takes a touch, into the box to Nelson. It's just very, very similar patterns, and if you think we're not doing this throughout the whole club,
it happened again.
You're absolutely wrong. Because here we go. Once again, Tierney down the wing, Smith Rowe takes a touch, pulls it back to Balogun, lovely turn, and in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I just wanted to make the point to everyone that for anyone who thinks Arteta's not working on our attacking football, he's not like, what's the word? He doesn't know how to coach us going forward, he's too negative. I think he is coaching us going forward. I just believe he thinks that long term, there's a very particular way he wants to coach us.
Yeah.
It's a very particular thing he wants us to do, and it's not easy. We're not going to learn overnight, and we're not going to do it without very particular players in those positions.
Yeah.
He strengthened us at the back. I know we've not looked brilliant. You know, we didn't against Villa anyway at the back, but I think over the course of the season, we can tell there's been an improvement defensively. And now these goals, I think, even though it's just the Europa League, the fact that I'm seeing patterns, it tells me that there is something he's looking to do in the future. There's something he wants to do sort of more long term.
I feel you're right. I feel like he did look at Pep's formula and think, you know what, that this works. This is the way the Premier League's moving. It's a lot of wide players getting involved, cutting it back, getting across goal, firing it into the box. Same with obviously the VAR, the handballs. I feel like that is the best way to score, is get down the wing and then drive it across the box.
Yeah.
And it will either get an own goal, a handball or something like that. So I feel
put
that's
it in the danger area.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what he's trying to do. However, I just feel our wingers right now aren't firing.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for this formula to work when your wide players aren't firing. I know it also can rely on the fullbacks getting on and doing it. However, to do that, you need someone in the midfield, creative, or just someone who can hold up the ball well and wait and keep possession while the fullback's bombing on to implement this cutback. So
right, that's it. That thing you just said there of you need midfielders who are able to keep the ball till that space opens up.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's all well and good when you're 2-0 up against Mulder or what you're leading and they're trying to chase the game and you think, you know what, we'll pick him off. And Willock makes that run and Smith Rowe makes that run. There's lots of space. That's great. It's about doing it when the spaces are tight and congested and it gets a little bit more difficult. Like the Rapid Vienna goal. The Rapid Vienna goal was good because not Tierney, El Neni and Bellerin and Aubameyang did it in a tight space against a low block. Yeah. We just need to see more of that. Yeah, have fun with that little. Yeah, that was good fun.
So you've heard myself and James break down what we think Arsenal are doing attacking at the moment and how we think we should play. Well, I want to move on to more about how we should play today. But you've heard from us. Now take a moment to hear from the fans. Hear what they have to say.
I would like to see a 4-3-3 formation. Attacking, so a central attacking midfielder to link up the midfield. At the back, between the sticks, I would like to see Leno. I think is pretty standard. In front of them, I would like to see Luis and Gabriel. I think Luis can really supply the long balls to people like Aubameyang to get on the end of, maybe get a cheeky header, which will see us, profiting off those long balls. And yeah, so I think he played really well in the Villa game before he was unfortunately injured and then taken off. And yeah, I think he'll be very good if he returns with Gabriel. On the right, I would like to see Bellerin. I think it's pretty standard again. On the left, it's Kieran Tierney. He's just a legend. Anyways, centre midfield, I would like to see Xhaka, Ceballos and Partey. I think Ceballos should play in that central midfield role. I think, attacking midfield role, where he can really profit off Partey's and Xhaka's interplay. And I think he will really be the guy to get us forward into those creative areas, which we have been lacking in the previous games. And I think if Arteta implements this right, we could be very strong in our midfield. And I think people aren't really realizing that, but we do have a lot of potential in our midfield, even though we haven't been creating that many chances. On the right, I would like to see Nelson. I think he's been superb. He really deserves a chance in the Prem. Centre, Aubameyang, it's a no-brainer. Left, Saka, he's been unbelievable. He has actually had a lot of chances, big chances in the past few games, which he unfortunately hasn't taken. So I'm going to spare some slack for that. But I think he is instrumental in our attack and we really need him. And if he can take these big chances, we can end up winning these games without any difficulties. It's a no-brainer for me with Saka.
Against Wolves, I think we should just, from the get-go, go at them. We're going to have one or two chances. Aubameyang should be on point to nick one goal in. To cut it short, that's what we should do on Sunday. High octane, high caliber, high press football, and we'll get a goal against Wolves. Thank you.
Back now. Listen, you guys in the comments. Honestly, if you see what's been going, guys.
I'm glad on this side.
Yeah,
of it,
man.
Like.
Jeez. Anyway, I'm gonna go straight into the analysis. So the last guy there, I think his name was Tinny. Thank you very much. I know he was buzzing to be part of the show. He speaks about going out full attack today, just having no fear, going for it. Now, I don't think that's the way we should play today. And what I'm worried about is I said this before the Man United game, and I was proven wrong. And we went straight at them. And we played well. Obviously, we didn't score from overplay, but we won the game. Yeah. And we was at them. We played really well.
Yeah, we were on the front foot. Yeah.
Exactly. But today, I think due to Wolves being a counter-attacking team, if we provide the low block and just basically the reverse role and we catch them on the counter, I think it'll be more effective. Now, this is my starting 11, guys. This is your call to start bringing in your 11. So start typing them up. We'll build them. We'll pick them apart. Start from now. This is my one. It's also on AFTV Instagram. This is what I believe. This is what I generally believe Arteta's going to go with today. Maybe not Willock. He might do a like-for-like swap, but I would like to see Willock in there. This is due to when we're off the ball and they're trying to counter, we basically just all fit in and make a 5 in midfield, 4 at the back, leave Aubameyang up there.
So you're thinking,
bring him, yeah,
something like this
to.
It'd probably be Xhaka at the base.
Yeah, there, and then that would be my opinion to stop the fullbacks, the likes of Traore and then the Wolves fullbacks as well getting on as well as their wingers. We have to set up like this, double up on the wide players, and then leave Aubameyang up top to counter their counter. This is how I think today's going to be.
Isn't that too negative?
It is too negative, and it's going to be the system and blah blah. And I know, but for this game, I'm telling you, this is what I believe will work, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. We've got to be aware of it, in my opinion, and it's going to be. Sad to say it, but I guess boring Arsenal football. If this is what I believe, okay, and I think this is what's going to happen, and we'll get maybe a 1-0.
For these next two games, we need results more than performances.
Exactly,
we really do. We need to just win. We need 3 points on the board. We need to do something in the North London derby, and then we can worry about how the performances are going to improve.
Yeah.
So I do understand, and if that's how you think is the best way for us to win, I've got to say I do get where you're coming from. I'm slightly indifferent. I don't know whether if you're playing a team that's a low block that counter really well, do you do what, for example, Liverpool have done, where Liverpool knew we countered well. So when we went to Anfield, rather than them being careful of that, they just went, okay, we press loads. like do that like times 100. Like they pressed us so much that we couldn't counter. And in fairness, we nicked a goal, but that's kind of all we could do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, you know, do we apply that logic? Do we go,
No.
right, you got to suffocate Wolves so much? Because that's what we did to United. They're a good counter-attacking team.
Yeah, and
You know?
it's like the it's like the Man United Chelsea game. Very boring. Both teams are too scared to attack. I kind of
You want that?
Yeah, and that sounds awful. Not that I
Nick
want
a
that.
penalty or
I just
something,
I want us to do that, but then take the chance. Like we'll Aubameyang or whoever's starting up top will be presented chances. I just want them to take them. People watching Partey update. If you missed our morning show, Partey is not available today.
Have they categorically said he's not available?
Well, he might be. They might be hiding it.
I feel like they just said, oh, he's still
Doing rehab.
recovering.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But like,
that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Imagine if he's just surprisingly just dropped in there. That would be incredible.
That would be
Because he's
amazing.
exactly who we need today.
Exactly, we need.
Because we could have a go. We could have a go and press them.
Yeah.
If you've got a Partey who sweeps up really well in midfield there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so the Arsenal website, the official website, they gave an update from yesterday saying he's still in rehab and recovery. So
Right,
he
okay.
could be available, but I mean, like we said before, it was a minor thigh injury. I don't know how it's lasted this long. So I expect if I don't see him today, we should be worried as fans.
Well, I heard that they do want. I say heard. I don't know people.
Yeah.
I just read things suggesting that Partey, what's the word? He probably is fit, but they're just not 100% sure, and they don't want to risk it for the North London derby.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, look, we should beat Wolves without Partey, and then we have him for the Spurs game.
Yeah.
But I think we need points now.
Yeah, all I know is
Like-
the fitness test to get back in the squad is so vigorous, like it'll be very difficult. Right, let's build anyway. Barrister Shah, thank you.
Yeah,
He says
get
a
them in.
4-2-3-1.
Okay, right.
Leno in goal.
Yeah.
Bellerin, Louise, Gabriel Tierney.
Right, we've got
Same
that.
as that.
Do we know if Louise is fit?
Yeah, no, he come off didn't he after?
He came off, but they said it was like kind of precautionary.
Yeah, I don't
it was,
think
it was discomfort.
Yeah, he didn't
rather
go. He didn't go off in an actual injury.
I feel like we don't know anything. Like,
No,
I feel like,
we've
I feel
done
like
the
we're just sort of
research.
even with Willian, they said, we looked into it. But even with Willian, they were like, available, late check. No, Saka, they said late check. I was like, but you deemed him fit a few days ago.
Yeah.
It's all really weird.
It's
We're going
very-
to find out soon. Anyway, let's
Yeah,
build this
even
11.
Saka. Yeah, they said. Yeah, that was weird. That was
It's all
weird.
weird. It's all weird.
Arsenal. No, do you know what? I don't expect them to tell us anyway.
Yeah.
Xhaka and Ceballos in the 2 in the midfield.
Jack and Sebastian. Okay, yeah, we got
The
that
2,
here.
and then 3 we've got Emil Smith Rowe
Okay.
in the
I'm
middle,
I'm
in the
calling for
cam.
Smith Rowe.
In the cam.
People laughed at me.
Yeah, I know. Left wing Saka.
Yeah.
Right wing Nelson. Very young in the midfield. And then Aubameyang up top.
All I've done is drop Xhaka for Willock, and people think I'm a criminal. Like,
Yeah, that was similar to what James
That's very similar to
predicted,
what I
but
wanted.
I just don't feel like Arteta will do that. But you might. Who
no,
else we got?
I don't think he will either.
We have Sam Tressasider. Tressasider, he says 4-2-3-1. Leno in goal, Bellerin, Holding, Gabriel, and Tierney.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Okay. Then we have Xhaka and Willock. Oh, in the
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I'm going to put Willock in case he keeps Ceballos.
Yep. Nelson, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, and Saka in the 3. And Aubameyang up top. Interesting. Again.
So he's basically done this.
Yeah. So he's done a 2.
It must be Willock in the 10 with Maitland-Niles and Xhaka together.
Well, no, I think the way he's written out. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Unless he wants Maitland-Niles in the 10.
Any more? 2-2-4-2.
Oh my. Okay.
No. Do you know what? This person spammed it. Adrian.
Okay, fair enough.
Defensive box. Gabriel and Louise in the 2.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this right. Tierney, Saliba in the 2 in front, I guess. Oh, no. I'm just going to say it because it's going to be difficult to build. And then Saka, Partey, Pepe, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles in the 4.
No, this is unfair. I'll build it. This is what someone wants to see.
It
apparently.
spams the chat.
Okay,
with
so
it.
go on. We've got Holding Gabriel as a back 2. Amazing.
Gabriel and Louise
Gabriel and Louise.
in a 2.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Tierney and Saliba after that.
And then Tierney Saliba in front
In a
of them.
2. Yeah, in front. I'm assuming in front he's put 2-2-4-2. So I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in a 4 in midfield, he's got Saliba, Saka.
What, Saliba again?
Yeah, Gabriel and Louise, then Tierney and Saliba. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Saka, Partey, Pepe, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Saka.
Partey, Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Hold on.
Just killed.
Saka, Partey, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and who?
That's a great question. Pepe. But Pepe's red carded, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then Aubameyang and Laka up top. And then you put hashtag I am Pep. That's what you said. Very confident.
I'm going to say...
That will not
I'm
ever...
going to say no,
Yeah.
but thank you.
Okay, that's James?
That's not my personal team, but cool.
Yeah.
It's... Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that for the fans' 11s. Thank you very much. I just want to quickly say we hope to see Balogun involved or Emile Smith-Rowe in the squad. I personally think Balogun's earned his right to be in the squad. I think James would like to see him more Emile Smith-Rowe. Not Manuel, sorry, Emile Smith-Rowe. So
yeah, desperate to see a little bit more Smith-Rowe.
Yeah.
I think he's got that. I think Willock's got sort of the legs and the energy, and I think he's got an eye for goal. But I think Smith-Rowe's that little bit more crafty in the final third. So I would like to see him. And look, I mean, again, people laugh at me having Smith-Rowe and Willock in the same midfield three, but the reality is that if we're not going to pick up results, we may as well be playing the players that we hope will be in a year or two's time. So, yeah, that was my thoughts. But we got some stuff to promote, haven't we?
We do. We have the new AFTV VIP app. Guys, look at my big mug on the screen. There it is.
There it is.
Awful.
How pretty it is.
Awful.
So, do you want to talk him through it? Do you want to just? This is fun. We've not shown this on screen before, and we're very excited about it. Basically, AFTV VIP. It's an app. You can download it. You've got to go to find the link. It's in the video.
Yeah.
You can go download it directly to your home screen. It's not on the App Store, Play Store, or anything. And then there's so much on offer. We've got polls, match center. You can build your own starting 11. So what we've been doing here on the show, get them in here, guys. This is where we're going to start pulling them from, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, guys, make sure you go on the app, build your 11, and then send it to us. Tag us. We can add it to the show. We can, instead of us creating it like this through the chat, you can send it to us and we can build them. So this is another way of doing it. There's many things. They have every player on there. We also have things like exclusive interviews, press releases. We have How's Your Touch, which is me, and rolling back the years, getting my football boots on, challenging fans and influencers like Don Robbie at football challenges, because everyone has their opinion about they can play football, but I really want to see if they can really kick ball.
But there's all sorts going on. You also get the content that comes out on YouTube. You get that first as well. So lots to have a look at, guys, and we've got even more coming. So yeah, that's AFTV VIP. That's actually not hard to say. I don't know why I'm finding that so difficult. But anyway, there you go. Do check it out and download. We're very excited about it.
So there's that. And also, we'd just like to say, we are doing a charity event on Tuesday. It's called Walk the Line. We'll be walking the distance of Islington, raising money for the Hive Food Bank. Myself, James, and Robbie, all social distance here in the office, on a treadmill, walking the distance of Islington. And like you said, it's a festive season. People are going without meals. So we are raising money and food and supplies for them. And please donate. I'm sure you can just scour through our social media to find out all of that. And also, we can talk about what's coming up next. Coming up next will be the starting 11. And then
we've got the starting 11 to come.
Starting 11 will be very interested to see. Hopefully, I've got my predictions right. James may have his, but it's already been slated.
Have I made a prediction on the game?
No, but the one you put on, the one on Instagram.
Oh, my 11. Do you know what?
Yeah.
That was a bad moment for me. Let's not talk about it too much.
So yeah, there's that, and then obviously the watch along, which will move on to the fan cams. I think that's pretty much what we.
That's it from me.
Yeah, that's it from me as well. So guys, thank you for watching today's pre-match build-up show. Stay tuned again. We're going to be straight back in with the starting 11, straight into the watch-alongs with all your content, your banter. Make sure you stay tuned. Thank you for watching. We out. Peace.